And now it's time for What Are You Thankful For? With J. Jonah Jameson.
Hello, I'm J. Jonah Jameson, author, director, and all-around nice guy of the Daily Bugle. Today, I discuss what I'm most thankful for. I am least thankful, however, for Spider-Man and that stupid symbiote Venom. That's right, Venom. One of these days, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to become a better superhero than even Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man sucks. He's terrible. Anyway, I'm thankful for my son, the astronaut. I'm thankful for paper. I'm thankful for money. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for me. I'm thankful for my heart medication, which I'm totally taking right now. And I am under control. I am J. Jonah Jameson. And this podcast that you are about to hear will be all about Venom. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to go through, because he's a certain arachnid's greatest foe. He is one of the weirdest people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting in my life. Because that Spider-Man decided to make him. That Spider-Man brought this villain into our fair city. Did we ever see Venom before Spider-Man? No, we did not. Do you want to know why? Because Spider-Man brought him here so Spider-Man can feel better about himself. Not like me, J. Jonah Jameson, who all he does is write hit pieces on Spider-Man. You want to know why? Because I am the true owner of everything that is news in Manhattan. And I'm here come to you on a podcast read by two Canadians and one Brit. The Brit is very stylish, it's very nice. The Canadian, not so much. Look at him. He's got long hair. He's running around with a kid. Look at him. See, he's not even there. All I see is a shelf. He's probably off being a devoted father. Do you want to know who else is a devoted father? Me, not Spider-Man. Me. I'm the greatest in the history of the world. Me. Be thankful for me, J. Jonah Jameson.
And that was What Are You Thankful For? With J. Jonah Jameson. Now, onto the podcast.
Onto the podcast, indeed. First of all, welcome everyone to episode number... I don't even know what number we're going with tonight, so I'm just going to say... I'm going to say 23... I'll just say episode number 23 in the reference to LeBron James's jersey number this year for the Lakers, and they will absolutely...
Number 6! He's not number 23, he's number 6.
No, I don't bloody know. I actually have a LeBron James shirt, vest, sorry, and there's actually have 23 on it.
Was it a first-year Lakers shirt? Second-year Lakers shirt? Or this year?
It is a first-year Lakers shirt.
Well, then he was using 23. You want to know why? Because he wanted to be like Spider-Man and steal from the true heroes of the sport.
I thought you were going to say Michael Jordan, then.
Exactly. Michael Jordan's the true hero of the sport. Greatest basketball player ever.
Oh, by the way, anybody who says he is not the greatest of all time,
I will fight you.
He will fight you. I will recommend you have a lobotomy.
Seriously.
I really will. Ryan Hollins, take notes. Right, so just a bit of, there's a lot of news to cover this week. I thought I'd start with Halloween just around the corner. In fact, Halloween is at this time of this. It's actually 3 weeks to the day today, on Sunday, 10th October. There's a Hellraiser reboot coming, which I think I have already said this, but we have never had an idea about who Pinhead would be. And it's not Doug Bradley, unfortunately. I know. Sad faces all around. There's actually an actress who was in Sense8 and the L Word Generation Q, Jamie Clayton. She's been named as the new Pinhead, but bearing in mind, Doug Bradley absolutely owned that role when Clive Barker did it, so she's got really, really big shoes to fill. And apparently it's already wrapped. It will be going on Hulu, so that would be good. Rest of the cast is Odessa Zion. There's also Brandon Flynn, Drew Starkey, Adam Faison, Aoife Hines, Selena Lowe, Haim Abbas. Apologies if I've murdered any of those. And I'm definitely going to murder this one because I've never been able to pronounce this guy's name in about 20 years. Goran Vizinjic, who was in ER for however many seasons it was. Boys, I don't know whether to be excited or not, because as far as I'm concerned, Hellraiser and Hellbound Hellraiser 2 was probably some of the best horror and the most goriest of horror I've ever watched. Now, I know the franchise went down as time went on, but do we really think that this reboot with a female Pinhead will work? I'm sort of ishin at this point.
The first Hellraiser itself, though, was really, really big, really, really good. I don't think a female Pinhead is indicative of its quality. I would want to see what they do with it before I judge, because Hellraiser, just like any sort of horror, is all based around the atmosphere you create, the tension you can create, and the gender of the Pinhead to me would not matter, because I don't know if you've ever seen a woman mad, but
I have. I live with one who's always mad. I know. Just got in fact, a little bit of news here. Clive Barker's actually joining in on this. I'm just going to try and find it now. It says Hellraiser architect Clive Barker is joining the production, which is already wrapped, as producer, so that's sort of a good sign. Moving a bit down a bit. Also warden as producer is Mark Tuberoff, who with Barker joins Phantom Force David S. Goyer, who we all know. And Keith Levin Bruckner is helming up a script by Ben Collins and Luke B. I'm going to murder his name. I do apologize. Piotrowski, who did The Night House and Super Dark Times with a story by Goyer. I'm not going to pronounce the president of Productions Progress. He says, next year marks the 35th anniversary since Hellraiser first haunted our dreams. It only haunted our dreams if you were actually scared by it. It's only fitting to come full circle and collaborating with Clive, the original creator and master of visionary horror. What argue there? We look forward to working with our partners at Hulu. The director Bruckner has also said, it's been such an honor to have Clive on board. Combined with a fearless and committed cast, including the amazing Jamie Clayton, who fully embodies the role as the Hellpriest, we're aiming to create a very special new chapter in the Hellraiser legacy. David S. Goyer has been quoted as saying, from the moment I first read The Hellbound Heart, Clive Barker became one of my literary heroes. His work is transgressive and completely redefined the horror genre. Under the guiding hand of David Bruckner, we're going back to the source and taking our inspiration from that original novella. Now, Clive Barker himself has been quoted as saying, having seen some of the designs from David Bruckner's new Hellraiser film, they pay homage to what the first film created, but then take it to places it's never been before. This is a Hellraiser on a scale that I simply didn't expect. David and his team are steeped in the story's mythology, but what excites me is their desire to honor the original, even as they revolutionize it for a new generation.
Yeah. And that's pretty well. That reads to me like, hey guys, we're going to reboot this. It's for a new generation, please. Like
it is for a new generation.
It's all, it's all in the eye of the beholder. If we're going to try to compare it to the first Hellraiser, it's not going to work out. Similarly, like I go back to the reaction to the Ghostbusters versus the reboot with the female Ghostbusters. They're two essentially very different movies made for two different generations of people. And that's what I will say about them. So if you want to do a Hellraiser with a female Pinhead, again, new generation, there is no reason not to do it. If you enjoy the original and don't want to see this, that's all the power to you. If you enjoy the original and do want to see it, all the power to you. But if you're going to reboot something, anything, make sure that you've got enough so that it can stand on its own 2 feet.
I'm not going to argue with that. I do see what they're saying, but at the same time, as a fan of the first 2 movies, I'm not even going to gloss over 3 and anything onwards, simply because 3 was basically kind of a mess, but it was kind of funny. But I didn't even bother after 4 because it just was such a mess. Even when you had Inferno, it just looked a mess. And as time went on, Doug Bradley, who made Pinhead what it was not even in the cast anymore. So, to be honest with you, it's not the worst. It's not the first film I would think about rebooting, but if you've got Clive Barker in, I'm all on board. If do I have faith in all the casting? To be honest with you, I don't. But this is a generation where we basically decide if an actress or an actor is good enough for a part before they've even played it. So I have my doubts, but I will hold reservation until I actually see the finished product on Hulu. Come on, Mr. Comic Book Expert. We've not really heard from you.
I've never actually seen the original Hellraiser. I've only seen it. So
I'm sorry. As a horror fan, I can just say that is blasphemy.
The most I've seen of Pinhead was in a fan film made by Chris R. Notarelli. So I've never actually seen it. But I've only seen the comics, but the comics don't hold up to the original film from what I've heard. So
it's not very often something like that happens. All right then, Mr. Comic Book Expert. As the man who has never seen Hellraiser, would you go and watch the reboot of it when it's watched on Hulu, regardless of whether you have Hulu or not?
I probably would. Also, people are making a big deal about this from what I've heard from Hellraiser and the original, what was it, a book or something, that in it the description is you can't really tell the gender of Pinhead. So I'm willing to be optimistic, but the problem is with remakes, there's a lot of films that don't do it right. The only remake I've ever seen that did it right would be Evil Dead. If I recall, even Al Pacino's Scarface is a remake of another film, but they did it really successfully. The problem is they're not doing it for the right reasons the majority of the time, and I don't think you can recapture what the original films had when it comes to a lot of stuff, because we're overplayed with remakes. At this point, we should be making something new or continuations of films. Because at this point, it just seems like Hollywood's out of ideas and they just want to rehash stuff.
Yeah, but to be fair, they always feel like that. They always do that. Your host with the most here has many ideas that he could pitch to any horror studio if they'd be willing to give him the bloody time of doing it. So if anyone, say James Wan, for instance, who is a master of horror, is fresh out of ideas and wants something new, James, come and see me. You know where all my socials are. Just going through the news, there is a few things I want to address, but I want to go on now to the man who three of us have considered the best Batman of all time. I'm talking about the one, the only, the master of the Bat voice, Kevin Conroy.
Where?
He's not here, but there is a bit of news for him. He has actually said there's one specific moment in the animated series that made him cry due to his own painful memories. Here we go. Arguing none have explored the duality of Bruce Wayne and Batman effectively as Conroy's famed interpretation on Batman Mask of a Phantasm, which we've all watched and we just love. And apparently there was a particular scene involving Bruce speaking to his parents' gravestone that struck a chord with the actor's own childhood, resulting in one of the character's most heartbreaking moments. He knows what it is. So I'll just break it down for those who have never seen it. Batman unexpectedly reunites with his former love, Andrea Beaumont, prompting him to recall a previous relationship and how he briefly considered links to the Believing he can't balance a commitment to both his late parents and Andrea, Bruce visits their grave, seeking a sign that will allow him to break his vow. The scene culminates in Conroy's emotional plea, "I didn't count on being happy." Speaking at Nashville Wizard World Comic Con 4 years ago, he recorded, "I had a very complicated relationship with my parents throughout my life, and when I recorded that scene, I lost it." He then stated that voice director Andrea Romano, who has also worked with Conroy on the sequel show Batman Beyond and worked with him God knows how many times on Nathan Batman, had to enter the performance booth to check on him, and he took a walk to calm himself. He didn't explain the specific cause of conflict with his parents, but is noticeably hesitant when describing the memory.
Oh, God.
If you tear him up, it must be something.
Yeah. And, well, that's one of the best scenes in Batman Mask of Phantasm, because Bruce at that point is essentially broken.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Conroy brought so much gravitas to that scene, and now we know why. There's only one scene I like more, and that's the world crumbling all around Joker. It's one of the most epic cinematic scenes ever. The music swells, you have the choir going, and all Joker can do as he's watching pretty well his imminent death and a chaotic mass destruction is laugh in a way that I will not try to maybe on this podcast. Seriously, go onto YouTube right now. Stop this podcast. Go onto YouTube right now. Search up Batman Mask of Phantasm epic Joker laugh. You'll see what I'm talking about. But just both of those scenes.
Is that the one at the end?
Yeah, it's near the end. Right.
I know which one you mean.
Yeah.
Without going into spoiler, but I know which one you mean. But it's kind of weird. But yeah, I do know which one you mean. Actually, do you want to know what is actually the favorite episode of the animated series for Mr. Conroy?
Yes,
I actually have it here in front of me. Can we just tell you?
Yes, but
Perchance to Dream.
Okay.
For those who don't know what it is, it's a tease of a happy life that will forever elude our dear Batman and Bruce Wayne. So basically, it would be like, what if there was no Batman? Obviously, so Bruce would have like kids, big mansion, successful company, which he kind of already has. It would basically be the opposite of having Batman. Basically, you would be successful, but you wouldn't stay up at night. You know, you wouldn't beat the shit out of every single member of a rogues gallery you saw. The one thing I absolutely wish I had right now was HBO Max, just so I could, because I still work normality, which we all do. I would happily watch an episode of Batman the Animated Series before I went to work every single day for however many episodes there was and however many seasons, just so I could I would literally wake up as soon as I started watching it and I would just be so engrossed. But unfortunately, I still have to wait. Actually, speaking of HBO Max, they've actually had some news this week as well. I'll just get to it. HBO Max has revealed that it's launching in seven additional countries next year, which will be Turkey, Greece, Estonia, Iceland, Latvia, Lithuania, and Holland. But to be fair, all they need to do in Holland is just have a picture of Max Verstappen or do something with him, and every single Dutchman and Dutchwoman will literally get HBO Max. These are countries where HBO has had little to no presence in the past, sign of its global ambitions for the streaming platform. At the Europe launch event on Tuesday, Christina Sulebach, general manager of HBO Max, has also said that HBO Max in Europe will get Warner Media theatrical releases 45 days after the theatrical launch, so basically what America and Canada has. The new window starts this year in the Nordics, and next year in Spain, Portugal, Holland, Greece, Iceland, Central and Eastern Europe. But as usual, no UK. Unfortunately. According to Joanna Larcher, the head of HBO Max Global, the company is aiming to be in 190 countries by 2026, which is probably by the time I will actually be able to watch all those Batman series. Today's announcements bring the European rollout total of 27 territories across Phase 1. Previous European countries said to receive the Warner Media on stream in 2022 include Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Croatia, Czech Republic, Holland, Moldova, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Serbia, Slovakia, and Slovenia. Now, this is what's interesting, actually. Pricing details for the original 6 European territories was also shared and will have Scandinavians feeling good as Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Finland will all see their subscription prices drop, with Spain and Andorra staying the same. Additionally, each subscriber in those countries will be able to get 12 months of a service for the cost of only 8 months. So here's your price cap if you're from Sweden or Norway. Sweden and Norway, HBO Max will cost a bit more than $10 a month, or around $81 a year. In Denmark, £9.20 a month, or $70 a year. Finland and Spain, $10.40 a month, or €80 a year. That is actually a bit weird how they've put it in dollars and then decided to put it in euros. There is actually quite a lot coming out because they've actually had a load of announcements. Obviously, there's been House of a Dragon, which has had a trailer this week. Peacemaker with John Cena's had something at DC Fandom. Sex and the City's rebooting. There's a lot. I mean, Matrix is coming, Game of Thrones, there's Flight Attendant new seasons coming out. They basically literally have something for everything. HBO Max will have lit up in 27 territories in Europe and 67 around the world, and they're not even finished yet. Is there anything else? No, that's it. So, gentlemen, all that lot in Europe will be enjoying HBO Max, but I still will not be.
Hey, we have to use a backdoor of it,
I thought Canada actually had HBO Max at the minute.
No, we have it through Crave.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Crave TV, which doesn't have everything.
Well, there's no announcement about that, but no, more than likely HBO will sort something out. But they'll probably sort it out quicker than they'll sort it out for England and everyone else here. So do you two feel sorry for me if I've still got to wait another 4 years for it?
No, because by the time you get it, you'll have so much content.
Yeah, but then it'll be a case of like everything else. I'll have another streaming service to go through. I'll have even more Batman to watch. It'll just be like, there is not enough of me to watch everything. I'll have to do a Michael Keaton in Multiplicity and clone myself. So one can watch Netflix, one can watch Amazon Prime, one can watch Disney, one can watch Sky, and the last one can watch HBO Max. And no offense, boys, but I don't really think you want to see 5 of me.
Can Mel handle that many?
No, I think she'd sign us into Arkham Asylum before that happened.
It'd be like that scene in the one movie where like the person's holding the weapon, aiming at it, trying to figure out who's the real one.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh yes, there is another thing. Let me just get to it. Unfortunately, HBO Max video calls did not really help HBO at all, because we all know that HBO has considered the Snyderverse a dead. Basically, it's dead. Unfortunately, #Restore the Snyderverse actually trended after a HBO Max video caused Zack Snyder's Justice League a global phenomenon during the HBO Max European event. Let me scroll down here. Since Justice League release, both Warner Brothers and HBO Max have been tied to the reception performance of film perfection fantasy. Now, for the first time, HBO Max has publicly addressed Zack Snyder's Justice League, calling it a global phenomenon. That statement comes from Priya Dogra, president of Warner Media Entertainment Networks for Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Asia Pacific. And it was part of today was actually a load of days ago, HBO Max's European event. Showcase put on by the streamers who prepares to launch platform overseas. Dogra introduced a number of films and series from streaming service calling HBO Max the home of DC before highlighting Zack Snyder's Justice League. This in turn has caused the #Restore the Snyderverse to resurface and trend on Twitter, just like it did after the film released in March. I have actually got it on HBO Max's Nordic official Twitter page here. No, it just basically says, wait, so we enjoy our European live event. That's it. Obviously, it'll be a bit harder because Zack Snyder's actually moved on. He's actually did Army of the Dead, which we know. He's actually, I believe, his prequel. I think it's Thieves of the Dead, or I can't remember what it's called exactly. That's coming out soon as well. He's actually doing sci-fi action film Rebel Moon as well. So I don't think he'll be doing part 2 of his Justice League trilogy anytime soon, if ever. But let's face it, boys, we want this to happen. Mm-hmm. Anybody with a modicum of DC sense really enjoys the Snyderverse rather than the Whedonverse. Because let's face it, if you watch Joss Whedon's version, you might as well go to the toilet for an hour and 45 minutes.
That got me good.
So, boys, do we think it'll ever get made?
It depends. The Snyderverse, like Zack Snyder's Justice League, came out at arguably the perfect time, because it came out in the middle of a global pandemic, where people wanted to be at home and to see somebody with the vision of Zack Snyder, as much as studio meddling got in the way of Batman v Superman, and to see all the changes that he made in order to make it a more complete film. You're gonna get, like, you become a lot more endeared to that, and you're willing to watch that and do that. If there is enough outcry from fans to make this happen, and I've always said, when it comes to this sort of deal, vote with your wallet. I've said that for many, many months. If part 2 or part 3 of the Justice League movies do not meet expectations, and do not meet expectations significantly, you've got, like, I'm sure the WB would allow something like a Zack Snyder to return and to do his cook up on part 2, and probably just decide to let him have a part 3 or whatever. But
we might as well. I mean, it's shown how popular it is. People are willing to sit on their asses for 4 hours and watch it all in one go, then it must be a case of, right, everyone's watched this. I actually wonder, when they actually literally hide the viewership numbers, there's 2 reasons behind it. One, it's performed poorly, which I doubt on this occasion. Or 2, in Warner Brothers' case, it's performed so greatly that they don't want anything else to do with it. I mean, let's put it this way. A lot of Warner Brothers head top brass have said that the Snyderverse is dead, right? Why would you release viewing figures if they are as good as I think they are? Why would you release those numbers and say, right, this is how good the Snyderverse, this is how good how Zack Snyder's Justice League was. We still don't want to make it, but we will happily let you tweet hashtag restore the Snyderverse to your heart's content.
We'll see there again. It came out at a time when people could watch it at home, had that 4 hours, and could sit there all in one go. I don't know if you guys have seen some theaters. Fraser, I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about, sitting in a theater in a small town. But if you try sitting in that sort of style for 4 hours, it's just, it may not work for those particular cases, unless the film is groin-grabbingly transcendent and somebody wants to try. So I get the WB's hesitation. That's why the best advice I can give, again, is if you want to see Zack Snyder's Justice League come to fruition, vote with your wallet. Do not see the next big Justice League movie. And WB will take notice, because right now they've got the same reservations I do. I'm sure.
Well, yeah, they probably have. What about our resident comic book expert?
Well, first, they need to bring back Henry Cavill as Superman. Even though they did him dirty, basically announcing a different Superman film on his birthday. From all the stuff we know about the second and third films, like, we won't have to worry, I guess, about spoilers since it's already out there. I don't think Snyder should come back. I think he should pick up a new superhero property and just spite Warner Brothers for everything they did to him.
Well, Warner. I was just going to say, Warner Brothers have shot themselves in the foot over the last year.
Yep.
Chris Nolan doesn't make movies for them anymore.
I heard about that.
Yeah, he was literally, like a lot of directors, weren't impressed with Warner Brothers' idea of, right, we'll release all the movies at the same time on HBO Max and in theaters. Nolan hated it. I know there was a lot who hated it. Denis Villeneuve, who's directed Dune, he didn't like it. I don't think James Gunn liked it either. But I think with that was literally the straw that broke Chris Nolan's back. So he was like, right, I hate this. So I think he's gone off to make movies for Universal now. So Warner Brothers' loss is Universal's gain, I'm afraid.
So, Fraser, just so that I can understand your point a little bit better, if you say he needs a new superhero property to play with, I mean, I know a team of heroes that would be absolutely perfect for Zack Snyder and Zack Snyder's style. Are you saying that you want the Paranormal Patrollers to be
Yes,
directed
please.
by Zack Snyder?
Yes, I want Paranormal Patrollers written and directed by Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder, you mean Zack
Scott?
Snyder?
Who the hell is Scott Snyder?
I think he's. I know Scott Snyder
Comics has ever had, the greatest Batman writer next to Grant Morrison.
Scott Snyder is?
Yes, Scott Snyder, the comic book writer, has made.
I gotcha. Okay.
The New 52 Batman. He did Dark Knight's Metal.
Oh.
Dark Knight's Metal.
Oh. The one Batman comic I want more than anything is Dark Knight Metal.
Yep, I have the original.
If I can ever find it around here, I think I might have to go to Forbidden Planet in Covent Garden in London for that.
I have every issue and tie-in issue except for like one, all sitting in a bin in my closet right now.
Oh boy. Oh, if we ever hit it big, remind us to have our own private compound and our own collection of comic books so we can do our research, so we don't always have to pile everything on Mr. Fraser.
I would just like to see if we ever hit it big, we get a warehouse in BC. Fraser has the keys to it, and he hoards it like the One Ring.
I would.
Yeah.
I would do it every time you guys call me and you're like, when you get in the warehouse, no, you cannot go near the precious. It's like, what is comic? I'm like,
it's the last time I took the lesson. Run! You only have one more day.
I would wait till we're at like a Q&A thing and somebody asks and I hop up on the table just wigging out.
I can just see it too. You and your hairstyle, you just jump up on the table.
Man.
Just two more bits of news. Have we got anything else to add on that Zack Snyder front? Or is that
yes,
it?
what I want to see Zack Snyder do is I want him to walk in the office while it's raining, like his back to the window, and just do the Rorschach monologue. Where it's just like they'll ask me to save them and I'll whisper no, and then he just casually strolls out.
Yeah, I would actually pay good money to see that. I don't know about you two, but I'm not the biggest fan of extreme body transformations as far as movies go. I mean, Tom Hardy's put on weight to play Bane and Charles Bronson. Zac Efron has absolutely just ripped himself from when everyone knew him as Troy from High School Musical. Now, I would consider the king of transformation as Christian Bale.
Okay.
I'll explain why here, because I've actually got a report from Yahoo News here. It says, few actors can epitomize the Hollywood transformation better than Christian Bale, who in his career has found up for American Hustle, which he did, shredded down to single-digit body fat for American Psycho, which he did, bulked up for the Dark Knight trilogy, which he did, and then lost weight to the tune of 30 kilograms after 2016's Vice for Le Mans. But there's one that's I think you two probably know what this is before I even go into it. There's one role that gets more attention than all the rest combined, which is Christian Bale's portrayal of Emasiet. I can't pronounce that. Basically, he plays an insomniac called Trevor Resnick in 2005's thriller The Machinist. Now, I've heard of extreme dieting, but this literally takes the biggest biscuit you can see. Bale dropped 4 stone, which is 25 kilo, in 4 months using an extremely calorie-sparse diet to ditch the weight from his previous role in American Psycho. 4 months of pre-production, Bale subsided, and I couldn't do this no matter what, on a diet of black coffee, 1 apple, and a tin of tuna per day. So basically, I've got a Harley Street health expert here. Explains that this is less than 200 calories per day, so it's not healthy at all. An extreme diet like this will play havoc with your metabolism and cause a lot of stress on your body. Also, an interview with E! 2 years ago, Bale admitted that he wasn't looking to explore the option of undertaking any more drastic Hollywood transformations. He says, I've become a little bit more boring now because I'm older, and I feel like if I keep doing what I've done in the past, I'm going to die. So I prefer not to die. In a separate interview, he's put, I can't keep doing it. I really can't. My mortality is staring me in the face. For comparison, Bale gained a sizable 19 kilo, which is 43 pounds for American Hustle. he's put, I eat lots of donuts, a whole lot of cheeseburgers, and whatever I could get my hands on. I literally anything that came my way. I was about 185 pounds, and then went up to 228. So I will say one thing, boys. I don't think there will be another. There will be another actor like Christian Bale, the man who literally can transform into anything. But I think the one thing that actually worries me is that if somebody wants to do like a machinist type role, it'd be like, why? On a side note, apparently Bale's wife found out about what he had to do, and she was not happy. But to be fair, would you if you saw your husband weighing about 7 kilos? And to be fair, I bet she could probably lift him up in a gorilla press because that's how little he weighed.
Was that the one where where he's practically I haven't seen the movie, but I know about it. I heard he was just eating like an orange and all that other stuff when he cut himself down. It just looks sickly and no one saw him outside of his scenes.
Yeah, I will never watch that movie simply because looking at Christian Bale like that, my mind can't process that A, that's Christian Bale, and B, he would do that even for a movie role. But yeah, I just worry about I'll say extreme body transformations like that. If you're bulking up, I mean, Tom Hardy has actually gone on record and said him bulking up for Bane has cocked his body up. So I'm in full favour of like putting on weight, like healthy stuff for roles, but not to the point where it fucks your body up. And by the way, if everyone listening, I do endorse body transformations, but can't speak for my co-host, but I would not go as far as to say, right, you have to go on a 200-calorie diet for 4 months. I would never, ever make anybody do that, no matter if it was for a movie or anything. I would simply say, right, you can if you want to, but I really don't want you to. So I know you two are probably the same anyway, because I bet you two would not in a million years even contemplate doing that. I'm going to say, if you two been muted, that usually you two have something to say.
No.
I've literally just said everything.
Yeah.
Right, just one more bit of news. This is actually a bit of tech news, which I am not. Usually I get the producer to do this, but unfortunately she's not here. So, now the big problem over the last 30-odd years with Sky in my country has been satellite dishes. But now there's actually something coming out. It's called Sky Glass, which is basically a normal TV with a 4K display, built-in Dolby Atmos surround sound. It costs £13 per month when it goes on sale in 8 days from now. But the only thing is, you can now with this, you can get the full sci-fi, you can get the full experience, Sky experience. You can do everything through Wi-Fi, and you don't need a satellite dish,
which would make sense.
For a lot of things, it does make sense. In fact, I've got it here. It will now be able to provide all of its programming through live television, be option to pause and record whenever through your broadband at home. That will mean no convoluted installations of satellite dishes on people's homes, something that can be impossible in rented accommodation. I'm in a rented accommodation. I know Fraser. Are you in a rented accommodation, Fraser?
What?
Do you rent your house?
You do rent your house, don't you?
Oh, I pretty much live with my mother's-in-law and her boyfriend.
So
yeah,
yes and no, and
yes, so yes, ish and ish.
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically with Sky Glass, you would not need to install a satellite dish on your rented accommodation. It said instead it will give customers a Sky TV connected with normal home internet connection and bring in the TV through that. New TV takes about 10 minutes to set up. Sky claims it will be unboxed on delivery and just needs one cable for power to work. Now this is what I don't agree with. Sky will sell the television as normal for set prices. The 43, because there's a 43-inch version, will cost £650, or I'm not quite sure how much that is in Canadian dollars, but I'm going to say about $800.
Somewhere.
Yeah. All the way up to £1,048, which is what, about 1,200 Canadian dollars?
Yeah.
For a 65-inch version. But it will also sell the TV like a phone through monthly payments, which start at £13 for the 43-inch version. Sky will also offer a swap feature like it does for its phones, where customers can exchange a TV when a new version of it comes out. Customers will also be able to buy a small plug that can hook up to other screens in the house. Now, it's considered chunky. Now, Sky Glass is a little bit different. Most TVs, it's chunkier, comes in 5 different colours, including a strong green and pink. Fraser, we know you love a good pink. You watch Power Rangers.
You got the best damn pink if you watch Power Rangers.
You do, yeah, you do, yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, and the option to swap the grill on front for the speaker for special designs is said to have been designed much like a piece of furniture, as technology, including like the logo on the front. I've also mentioned Dolby's sound built-in. It says here, which company says it's good enough that customers won't have to go and buy a separate speaker system. It includes full Dolby Atmos support for 360 surround sound, for instance. Sound and visuals will adjust to whatever is being shown. Yeah. It says Sky has also said that existing television market is confusing, with many companies offering dozens of different models, which is often difficult to tell apart. Instead, it will just sell 3 sizes: small, medium, and large, which is fair enough. We're going into the tech stuff now, which I just really don't get in. There is something else about this that is a bit. I'm not sure if it's worrying or if it's revolutionary, but this is actually the first carbon neutral TV.
Really?
Apparently, that's what they're boasting at. I'm not quite sure on this because, like I said, I'm not a tech whiz. In fact, let me just find it here. That's what I've just done. I'm just looking at something from Wired here.
Because I'm like,
just,
while you're looking, yeah. I love tech. So this sort of thing to me, to hear is actually a. I don't know how to feel about it, and I'm going to tell you why. I want to know, are there any sort of auxiliary ports on it? HDMI, components, stuff like that. That's the first thing I want to know. But you're seeing a move from certain giants to jump into the TV market with their services bundled in. I know Amazon, for example, is coming out with something really similar to what Sky has just come out with. The only difference is it's compatible with Alexa immediately out of the box, as if you've got an Amazon Fire TV in it, which is fantastic. And it's got Amazon Prime Video as like a native thing built right into it as well. So from that perspective, it's really, really good.
I've actually got an article from Wired here, which I'm going to tell you after you two's had your say. I'm just making sure I've got everything that I haven't said yet. Like, carry on, Nathan. I think I've got it here.
So the one major hitch I see with things like Sky or Amazon, number one, they're unproven when it comes to tech, specifically like the bigger tech guys. We want to know about high dynamic range, the contrast ratio, all of that separate stuff. We want to know how companies like your Amazons, like your Sky, will be able to do with it. And if you are now transitioning more towards selling your television as a monthly service on top of your cable, on top of everything else, first of all, congratulations, good on you. You are pretty well suggesting that your TV is going to last about 9 or 10 years, because that's the price point where you're going to make serious profit off of it. But are we as a society ready to take, like, when you pay for a subscription service or any sort of service, you technically don't own the things that you have. Mm-hmm. They can be removed at any time or done that at any time. Are we willing to make our TV one of those things? I understand with cable we've got choice. I understand everything running through Wi-Fi, which is a good thing if you've got a strong enough Wi-Fi to do it, because a weak Wi-Fi or a weak bandwidth at any time will degrade your signal to the point where you're going to be like, what the am I watching? So I want to see, are we as a society ready to just bite the bullet and allow our television to become one of those services that we make a month-to-month payment on in terms of a service that is directly from a...
It's not mainly just that with Sky. It's also a problem because if you decide to cancel your Sky subscription, then you've still got a TV that you've got
to pay for.
Yeah. I mean, if you are like someone who's had Sky for like decades, going on 2 decades, then that'd be fair enough. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love Sky, but I don't love Sky enough to have one of their TVs in my bed, in my living room. The other problem is, I'll say this for it, there's a lot of people who have held it as groundbreaking for various reasons. I'm not going to go into them too much, but yeah. But there is a lot. Yeah. Let me just try and find it. Here it goes. Oh, by the way, apparently, because the problem with satellite dishes is you need engineers to come out and see them, but apparently that's not really the problem. Apparently, if there's a problem with your Sky Glass TV, then they will come and fix it, which is actually nice. Apparently, there was one question. Sky is actually offering smaller puck boxes that allow you to stream Sky to non-glass televisions in other rooms. Basically, what it would be, if I'm reading this right, but bearing in mind I am not a tech genius, like I've repeatedly said, what it's going to basically be is it's going to be like having a Sky box in your bedroom, which will connect to Sky Glass. That's what I'm assuming it is, but like I said, I'm not a tech expert. I'm just trying to think what there is. Just bear with me a second. No, that's about looking beyond potential sustainability problems. Could the dish-free Sky Glass TV also spell bad news for Sky's 4,000 strong team of dish fitters and engineers? Company, however, claims that this won't be an issue as Sky engineers will still be required to set up glass TVs on delivery. Yeah, but do they? No offense, but my last 3 Samsungs I've used, I haven't even bothered with the instruction manual. I've just gone straight into using it because I know what I'm doing. Oh yes. Another concern with Sky Glass is naturally how much it costs. Sky is eager to state that it's offering a whole new way for it. Yeah. Basically, what Sky's doing is they're offering you something revolutionary. Unfortunately, you have to pay, say, from £13 a month, but on top of your £26 at least Sky subscription on top. But obviously, if you have the full package, it will be more than that. So, I think the top package last time I checked is like £80 a month. So that's like 100 Canadian dollars. So literally, you're paying £93 a month for everything you get from Sky. I think it's about that, plus your £13 on top. So literally, you're paying £100 for Sky a month. Now, unless you literally have no social life, you are not going to be buying that. The only reason you would buy that is if basically to keep the kids happy. But I don't think even I would spend £100 on Sky. Hold on, there is more. Well, that sounds pretty in my vision. You won't have access to movies or sport, nor will you be able to make use of TV's 4K resolution. Latter 2 combined, setting you back an extra £5 a month. Sky Cinemas additional 11, Sky Sports additional £26. And if you want to stream Sky to any other rooms in your home, it will set you back £50 per box plus an additional £10 per month. All in all, that's approaching £150 a month or $2,000 a year. More than the total cost of your current favourite 50-inch TV. That's saying something. They have said it's not for everyone. But like I said, they say it's carbon neutral, but I'm not exactly sure where they get that from. So it is revolutionary only if you can afford it. I mean, no effect. I don't know how you two feel about it, but I'm pretty sure you would not have a full pay $2,000 a year for Sky or for satellite TV with everything I've just said, would you?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I have a great Samsung 4K TV.
I do.
I pay up the nose for my computer. My computer is my child. I just found out that Samsung has full support for Apple AirPlay.
Nice.
And to make a very long story short, I can watch anything I want to on my Mac on the Samsung, regardless of what it is, with no signal degradation because of online. If I have something like that is bundled right into my products as a feature, why would I want to pay a monthly subscription to one restrictive service?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I see the initiative and why they've actually done this, but if you were going to sell that to me, say, right, we want to sell you this Sky Glass TV, it's revolutionary, yada yada yada. First thing I would say to them, because I'm quite cautious with money, I said, how much would that set me back a month and a year? The minute they said £150 a month or $2,000 a year, I would say, you are having a laugh.
No.
I mean, no offense, but I must admit, I've not really enjoyed going out in the last year simply because lockdown has changed everything. But I don't want to spend $2,000 a year on something that I probably will not get around to watching simply because I have Netflix, Amazon, Disney. When HBO Max eventually gets here, I will. We've got Apple TV as well. So, no offense, but I would not buy that. Not when I have literally every single streaming service at my fingertips. So I'll tell you what, there is one test we can do about this, Nathan. We can do the family test, considering our other co-host has 2 kids. The prime candidates for Sky TV, where Cartoon Network is a must.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Like, they would have to have like the best programming ever. Like, it would have to somehow like make Netflix and Disney look like clowns, basically, for me to shell out that kind of money. And then you have to think of the long term about all your other expenses, if it's going to be worth it. Am I really just going to want this one thing?
Yeah.
You're paying $2,000 a year as well, Phrase. That's for everything that's included with it. You know, TV, all the stuff that comes with it, and not to mention your monthly subscription as well. So I'm not saying I'm against the idea, but unless you have like a mansion and shitloads of money, I would not recommend. Are we actually doing recommendation advice for people in my country? So very often we give advice for buying stuff, is it?
No, but you want to know what? It's kind of refreshing.
It is.
Like I will be I'll be completely transparent with you. I've spent around $1,500 on my computer, which is something I'm going to have for more than a year.
And what computer do you have?
I have a MacBook Air.
It's not cheap. That's why.
No, it isn't. It was part of the Apple. It's like it was like the brand new Apple M1 chips are in it. This thing flies. It's got like 17 hour battery life. My voiceover equipment costed me around $300 just in general to do it. I'm not going to tell you what I have right now, but
we're not going to ask.
Yeah. So, but that to me, like, would I rather have one service where I can watch TV, or would I rather have stuff that I'm going to keep around for a few years?
The answer is obvious. To anybody with a brain, that's obvious.
Yeah, that, stuff that I can use to not only do everything. I guarantee you that I could find some way or another, if I really wanted to do everything with my computer that Sky Sports has.
Yeah.
And because of my ability to be able to just cast it straight to my TV, no questions asked, why would I want it?
Indeed.
I think this is for, like you said, Dean, people with families. I really think that. And I think if you want to do some sort of all-in-one service with your TV that cuts out satellite, where you've got like consistently good internet, it might be something you want to consider if you don't have Netflix, if you don't have Disney Plus, if you don't have HBO Max, if you don't have Prime Video, something to consider. But I don't think at a point for you or someone who, has the know-how in order to get past the small hoops or hurdles that you would have with a traditional thing, I don't think it's a good deal at all.
But I will say one thing over here. Sky has everything made by HBO. So when House of the Dragon eventually comes out, Sky will get that. Don't get me wrong. I did like Game of Thrones, but the fact is, would I fork out so much a month for it? They don't have WWE anymore, but yet they've got enough. They've got F1, but the fact is, Sky packages are way too much. I know what they'll say. Well, price increase is necessary with all the new technology we're giving away. They've got shitloads, but there's some point in time where you have to go, right, Sky is asking a bit too much for a lot of stuff. I mean, I can't even get F1 TV. I can't even get F1 TV Pro over here simply because Sky has the rights to F1, which it's not just me. I think a lot of countries have it. I think Germany has it. I think Italy has it. So there isn't really much reason for me to have Sky. I've got everything I need. I'm not forking out 40 quid a month or £10 a Grand Prix weekend. I would rather just watch it on YouTube, watch highlights, which is what I do now. So at this point in time, I don't miss Sky as much as I did 10 years ago. But if someone said to me, would you have Sky back? I'd say no. My truthful advice, a bit of a Director's Cut podcast top tip. If you don't want Sky, but you want Sky, but you don't have to pay over the odds for it, just buy Now TV, which is the same package, but it's cheaper. So you get everything that you get on Sky, majority of things you get on Sky, but it's cheaper. But I still wouldn't have that. I just wouldn't. I have had it previously, but compared to everything else, it just doesn't look. You just think everything I can get on Sky, I can get on Amazon because Amazon shows Premier League highlights. There's tennis on there. Amazon and Netflix might be bidding on F1 if it ever comes up for sale because I know Netflix might be interested because I think their CEO. I mentioned that a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it might be last week. But there's still a lot that I want to watch. There's still good TV, but I don't really think a lot of it on Sky is good. The only thing I will say, this will be my last part before I say this. The Arrowverse is on Sky, except for Batwoman, which is on E4, which is free. But it just goes back to what we're saying wrestling about WWE and AEW. WWE is on BT Sport, AEW's on, I think it's on ITV4 still. It's basically free to watch. You're basically gonna get better if you're on Freeview and get E4. Get AEW rather than fork out however much it is a month for BT Sport and watch WWE. That's what I think. I'll let you two finish off because I think I've rambled on enough to bore everyone to death.
Yeah. For me, I've always said this: vote with your wallet. If you think it is a revolutionary thing. You've bundled all in one. You've changed it from satellite to online, and you've potentially mitigated one of satellite's problems. But at what cost?
Yeah.
And to me, I know for me, just for me, the figures don't add up. To me, the figures don't add up. Vote with your wallet. And that's really all I've got to say on that.
Yeah. Come on then, Mr. Family Man. Speak your mind.
Unless it becomes more reasonably priced, then I kind of wouldn't bother if it's going to cost me more money in the long run. And you want more stuff that's going to be convenient, like Netflix is convenient, Disney Plus is convenient. You get so much more than what the price is. So I'd rather just stick with Disney Plus and like Netflix. I don't really need like all this advanced tech. Half the time, like I bought a Roku TV and it's been working great since I got it. I don't need like a super advanced TV to watch half the stuff I watch with my family. So
Me and Fraser are so boring. We just have any old thing. Nathan wants the newest tech.
Well, I mean, for my computer, absolutely I do. For my gaming console, absolutely I do. For my everything else, other than resolution for my TV and the refresh rate and contrast for my TV, I can deal with like just legacy stuff, but that's been my thing for years.
Yeah.
So
on behalf of Finalcut and Fitz, on behalf of Directors Cut Podcast, we advise everyone in my country, unless you are made of money, do not buy Skyglass because there's just too many variables to think about. Topic's quite short this week. So basically it's kind of like us. Like we could actually do the producers right now, actually. So we'll give everyone an example. So who would we most like to work with in terms of movies and TV, music, voiceover work, presenting and gaming? So we'll start with a producer first, knowing her the way we do.
Hello.
So producer, I know you would like to work with in movies and TV. You fancy that many men. It's unbelievable. Oh, yes, I know who you'd like to work with, Scott Eastwood.
Oh, yes, of course. He's one of the few people who I think I could do a better job than.
Yeah. Music, well, that's obvious. You'd like to work with Danny O'Donoghue. No idea
why. Of course.
Actually, I better be nice because I know the one thing I never want to do is piss off the Irish. The scripts are Irish, so I don't want to piss them off. So I was, in fairness, they are a great band. I know I've just took the piss, but I have seen them live and they are absolutely brilliant at what they do. So the producer kind of like gets all giddy the minute the script tickets go on sale. So I'm not gonna. I know I'm mocked, but I really can't because they are good and they are worth their weight in gold.
I spent many weeks trying to get them for you.
I really wish you wouldn't. Voiceover work. Well, considering she doesn't know quality because she thinks Kevin Conroy is not the best Batman in the world. Heaven forbid that. Who would you like to work with, producer, on voiceover work?
Right. Oh my.
Can't have Ryan Reynolds because Ryan Reynolds is just Ryan Reynolds.
You know what? I would like to work with that Ben Stein fellow. In any way when he does not play himself in voiceover form. He's got such a monotone voice. And I would love to have him in an action scene where he's doing something similar to those spandex superheroes. Fraser, you know them. I would love to hear Ben Stein say it's morphing time.
That's just painted a pretty horrible picture. What about presenting? I'm just trying to think. Who does the producer like presenting wise? She doesn't really say anyone who she likes as a presenter. She does like Roman Kemp, who's a DJ, but the only thing is he's not really a presenter. He's a DJ, and he is sort of a presenter, but at the same time he's not. So we could just go with Roman Kemp and just save a lot of arguing. Plus, the producer kind of has a crush on him as well.
Right.
Which you do.
He wouldn't make it to presenting.
No, he wouldn't. We can't really do gaming because she's not a gamer. Don't worry.
I would love to work with that Wario.
Oh yeah, she would. She always likes
the mustache and the evil laugh.
Do we know any Irish? Do we know any Irish? Any Irish actors who do voiceover work? Because the producer has a thing for the Irishman. I don't know why, but she does. Do we actually know anyone Irish who's done voiceover work before?
Yes, we do. But I really can't think of. I think all these people would be better than me. There's not many.
There isn't. Right, we'll come back. We'll come back to that when the producers had a bit of a think. So, for us, who would we like to work with in terms of music, movies and TV, music, voiceover presenting, and gaming? So, how about we let the comic book encyclopedia go first?
I think I found him.
Oh, who is it?
I'd like to work with Pierce Brosnan. He did the voice of James Bond in 007 Nightfire.
Oh, that'll work. The only thing is you'd have to put up with his really bad singing.
Well, no. I'm thinking we do something similar to SingStar.
Oh, God.
No, just
I can just think of YouTube hits now.
And we have Pierce Brosnan singing Fernando from Mamma Mia as the first song.
Oh, God. You know that means you're not joining producer.
Of course.
Oh,
there was something in the air that night.
Oh,
the
my
stars were bright. Fernando.
By the way, if you want to, I thought I had done a good enough job turning everyone away. I think you've done a better job.
Thank you.
Anyway, Fraser, who have you got?
Let's see. For comics, probably.
Just so you know, it's not a competition. Just pick the first person who comes into your head. It's not favoritism. You're just thinking of the first person that comes into your head.
Comics, Jim Sub. He writes a lot of the Dungeons & Dragons comics. He had quite a bit of.
I like the way it's saying comics, but yeah, there's movies and TV, music, voiceover, presenting, gaming.
Yeah, there's no comics on this list, man.
Although for next time we will do a comics list because there is actually quite a few that I would like to have some sort of affiliation with.
Film, it'd be Zack Snyder because no one's been better than him at imagery.
Are you dissing Chris Nolan?
Yes, I'm dissing Chris.
Oh my God! How dare you, sir?
Chris Nolan and his inferior. What is it?
Chris Nolan is
Rise of the Dark Knight. Dark Knight Rises.
Nathan, I think we've just found the second thing we're going to be arguing about after Evil Dead.
Yep.
Okay. Who's better, Zack Snyder or Chris Nolan? There's no contest. It's Chris Nolan. Anyway, carry on, Fraser.
Presenters.
It can be anyone. It doesn't have to be Canadian.
I don't know. I don't really follow like presenters really. I feel like because he'd make it hilarious, the guy that played Jeff Winger on Community. Just because what he did at the Video Game Awards that one year.
Yeah. All right. What about music, voiceover, work, and gaming?
Voiceover. Man, I don't follow a whole bunch of voiceover artists, so probably
we have a voiceover in our bloody pussy.
And more importantly, you know more than you think you do.
Bearing in mind, Fraser, voiceover work is not limited just to what Nathan does. It's literally anything. Anybody who has voiced over anything, whether it be animation, anime, video games, anything.
Let's see. Probably Josh Keaton.
Oh my God! I will say good. I will say good though, because I have actually, like I said to these two before we came on, I have actually started watching Spectacular Spider-Man on Netflix, and Josh Keaton is actually a good Spider-Man. But you've committed blasphemy because you didn't say Kevin Conroy.
I was going to say either Mark Hamill or Conroy, but then you jumped in being like, voice acting is also theirs.
Oh yeah, it is, because you were just like, right. But yeah, we knew this. Hell, my answers were already ready.
Josh Keaton his much needed appreciation, since we most talk about Hamill and Conroy anyway, and Nathan. So,
in fairness, I have actually literally said about 3 times tonight how much I actually think he is a great Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, Keaton's actually a good choice. He could have done way worse.
Yeah, you could have actually. Well, who is the worst Spider-Man actually? We could go
Drake
with Nicholas
Bell.
Hammond.
Drake Bell, because he betrayed everything Spider-Man stands for, of everything he did in his personal life. So,
No, fair enough. Then, yeah, that's the worst.
gaming. Like, are we talking game developers? Or are we talking like?
We could. I tell you what, we could do game developers and voice actors.
Oh God.
I know, Nate. Like, I might do mine.
You're gonna kill me, man.
That's why I'm doing mine next.
I'm gonna have to give my most biased comment on this podcast. The guys that make Kingdom Hearts. I have to give my most biased.
I can help you. Tetsuya Nomura is who you want to work with.
Thank you. I love Kingdom Hearts too much. It was like my game of games, so I can't go against that. So,
all right. What about game developers?
No. Tetsuya Nomura is like the creative director of Kingdom Hearts, head honcho. He's was a character designer for Final Fantasy 7, 8, 10. He did a lot of work on Final Fantasy 7 and 10. Tetsuya Nomura is royalty among video game developers. So like you want to go actors now, and if you're going with any Kingdom Hearts actor, I can tell you who it is if you give me the character.
I'd want to bring back Sora. Anytime,
okay, so you want Haley
Sora.
Joel. Okay, we are on board.
Yeah,
Haley Joel Osment. Haley Joel Osment, the best character ever.
I know it'll never happen, but I would kind of love if Nintendo ever got a game like Kingdom Hearts. It'd be so fun to revisit all the different Nintendo
I am so happy
worlds.
you said that. You actually have no idea how happy I am you said that. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we will. Right, have you done yours now, Phrase?
Yep. I can't top Kingdom Hearts, so like I have to go out on that high note. So
yeah, you have to go out on the high note. Right, for me, I've said this many a time. I could literally name about 10, 20 people on each of these. But for movies and TV, I don't know. There's honestly that many that I absolutely want to work with. I know who Nathan's going to say, because Nathan will say, if he was still here, Alex Trebek.
For presenting, absolutely, I would.
There you go. Movies and TV is a bit hard. I genuinely don't know, because there is actually a lot. There generally is. As far as voiceover, for actual voiceover stuff and gaming voiceover, I have to go with Hamill and Conroy. Game developer, I'd have to say Rocksteady. Every single thing they've done, Batman-wise, has been nothing short of pure gold. It's been platinum, actually, or diamond. The one thing that is guaranteed in life is a Rocksteady game will be a success. Up in there.
you got muted.
Yeah, I accidentally hit the wrong button. Go on with your point on Rocksteady.
I would say which bit did I get to?
They are the platinum of
video game. They are literally the diamond as far as game developers go. Literally, if you want to have a great game, great franchise, they are the ones to go by. Presenting, there's just too many. I don't know. I will say one thing, that there is a lot that I like. I'll say one TV presenter that stands out amongst all the others. You two probably don't know this woman, but I will say her anyway. Her name is Rochelle Humes. She was in one of my favourite bands back in the heyday of when the Saturdays were the best thing since sliced bread. She's moved into presenting, and she is actually quite good. She presents a lot over here. And I wouldn't mind actually hosting something with her, just so I can say I've hosted something with Rochelle Humes. My life is now complete. Music-wise, oh God. I will say one thing, though. I'm not going to choose one. I'm going to choose two, because I love these two equally. Music-wise, I would love to work with Ed Sheeran, who is the man, no matter where you go, and T Swift, who is the woman, no matter where you go either. Did I say all? Yeah, I have said all mine, haven't I?
You're gonna kill me.
Judging by Nathan's reaction, I'm going to say yes.
So
So
okay,
with that, Nathan, you'll go.
I want to ask this as a clarifying question. Do they have to be living?
I've done mine as living.
Okay, so
But I'm going to assume that you don't want to do it.
And I know no, it changes. It changes nearly every. It changes everything except for two things on my list if it's living or dead, because I could do either. I just need to know which one.
We can do living. We can do 1-to-1 here another day.
Okie dokie. If we're going based off of who is living right now, I am sorry, Robin. I am sorry, Alex. Okay. Movies and TV. I would love to work with Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Just in general.
Is this South Park related or not South Park related?
Both.
Fair enough.
They've done both. For a few years in supplement to like watching the news, there would be two shows I would always turn to. That'd be The Daily Show with Jon Stewart and South Park to get all of my content. And that's just because of how well and how thoroughly South Park will actually go through and dissect events in order to make pure satire of them. That being said, because Dean gets to cheat, so do I. Music, I want to work with Seth MacFarlane.
Oh God!
Because
I cheat with that. Mind you, I did. Yeah, but I did say two. But I have seen them. I've seen them both live. I love them both as artists. They're absolutely brilliant. I could not choose between them. That's why I said them. That's why I said those two.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I can choose Seth MacFarlane because have you ever heard the man sing?
Not really. But then
have you ever? Okay. Christmas, I know what I'm doing for you. If you are just into like pure vocal talents, hang on. I'm actually going to send you something right now.
I was saying send me something, but I can't play it on here because obviously.
No. I want you to listen to this after the podcast because you don't understand how well Seth MacFarlane sings. Just in general. Classically trained by Frank Sinatra. That's all. Like not Frank Sinatra himself, but the people who trained Sinatra.
Hey, you just said Frank Sinatra. The people who trained Frank Sinatra. My attention is on you.
The people who trained Frank Sinatra trained MacFarlane. I'm going to send you something. It's more holiday related, but you'll understand why I picked Seth MacFarlane. Anybody who sees this and doubts this and thinks I'm taking the piss, no.
I think the producer would probably think that.
He was good in Sing, though.
Yes, he is. But
I've got it. I'll have a look.
Listen to that. But such a great voice. And if you're going to do something soulful or impactful, that's the voice I want behind it. I am sorry to all of the artists out there. So Seth MacFarlane for music. For voiceover, because Robin Williams is taken away from me thanks to Dean's draconian rules.
I know. I'm sorry.
I am going to pick Mark Hamill. Sorry, Kevin.
Bear in mind, you do have the voice. You have gaming as well. So
I have more. But gaming, I can't pick him. I can't pick Conroy because
that's all right.
I'll get into why. But voiceover, since I can't pick Robin Williams, and I've already picked both Trey and Matt and Seth MacFarlane for something else.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill, get into that voiceover spot. Such a versatile talent. Even beyond Joker, the man knows what he's doing. The man is criminally underrated. Presenting, since I can't choose Alex Trebek, which I would do in a heartbeat, I am going to go with the OG, one of the best presenters ever who just oozes charisma. Even when he last presented in 2015, he's still alive to this day. Dean, you're going to love this. He beat the piss out of Adam Sandler. His name is Bob Barker.
I'm instantly a fan.
That would be who I would pick. Gaming, the gaming team I would like to work with, either, like if I'm held at gunpoint, I'm going to say Tetsuya Nomura and Square Enix Osaka.
Yeah.
But the other ones that are on my list are Yuke's. You know why?
Nice. I know
and
why.
Masahiro Sakurai and the Smash team.
Nice.
For gaming voiceover, I could pick Kevin Conroy, but instead I'm going to go with Fraser, and I'm going to pick Haley Joel Osment. Simply because I am of the belief that Sora saved my life and is one of the reasons why I'm here.
Thank God we didn't say wrestling, otherwise it'd be Shawn Michaels.
in 2012, I got horrible back pain and horrible depression, and it sucked away the life from everything that I used to hold dear, and it felt like there was a dark cloud over just about anything that I'd done. Everything that I had done took so much effort. I couldn't get up in the morning, and there would be times I would know where there would be like an hour, 2 hours where I would be immobilized in just extreme pain.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got my back like that. But it got to the point where I don't even want to talk about just how dark my thoughts were. But then Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance comes out in 2012, and Sora, I don't know how much Fraser will agree with me on this. Sora is the most lovable dumbass in gaming.
He is.
He will walk into every trap, and he'll do it with such earnesty, such honesty, and just such optimism that you cannot help but just instantly want to be there for the guy, even when he makes the stupidest decisions in the world. Such as what I'll never forget when he wakes up in Traverse Town in Dream Drop Distance, and he goes, "Huh? This is Traverse Town." He realizes that he is not wearing the same clothes whatsoever. And there's a sigil that looks awfully similar to an Organization 13 symbol. And this is a symbol he's seen before. And he's looking around. He's like, "Hey, what's with my clothes?" "Must be more Master Yen Sid's magic." Instantly thinking the absolute best possible solution. And it's all part of Haley Joel Osment's performance, and he does such a good job. But even then, I'm thinking, no, what are you doing? And even as you go forward, twice in the game, he's betrayed by allies. Once when Neku sold me out, and the other time, I was in Tron's world, and Tron had been corrupted. But I just didn't want to believe that. And you can't get mad at the guy. You just want to give him a hug and just feel like, oh god damn it. I'm a kid again. But Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance was around the only game when my thoughts got super dark, where I could just completely lose myself and just have fun and laugh at the stupid dumbass. And I there are other things I can say about Kingdom Hearts and why I'm so close to it, but Haley Joel Osment as Sora, and just Sora in general, has done such a great job of it. Hell, so a bit of gaming news that we didn't get to. Sora was revealed as the final Smash Ultimate DLC character. I cried at his trailer. I'm gonna openly admit that.
He actually would.
I cried at his trailer.
If you don't know this man, and anything that is associated with Kingdom Hearts and that person, if he said he cried, he did.
Yeah, he did. And Sora being in Kingdom Hearts is a testament to how much people wanted him. Fraser, he won a survey of Smash fans to be entered into the game.
Nice.
But he was also a copyright nightmare, because not only does Nintendo and Smash and Sakurai have to deal with Square, they have to deal with Disney to get him in.
Yeah.
And just the fact that they did, the fact that he's there, and the fact that he just Sora is my favorite video game character of all time. Haley Joel Osment is the voice of Sora. I need to work with Haley Joel Osment just for the little piece of optimism inside of me that has not been tainted by the world.
Yeah.
So that's why he's there.
Yeah. But just for a little, I would definitely work with these ladies. I would definitely work with. I'm sure Nathan would agree with me when I say this. I would like to work with Alex Wilton Regan.
Yep. Fantastic.
Yeah, who I actually tried to give Nathan's job to once, but she unfortunately, I don't think it got beyond the my idea of let's have Nathan replaced. But I'm like, no, I can't do this to him.
Hey, I was on board with it, man.
Too much.
I was on board with it, man. She's on Gumball.
And
woman knows what she's doing.
And Lily Rexu as well, who I had on Finalcut. I think it was late last year. I think it was. Both absolutely incredible, talented artists.
They are. Speaking of which, shout out to Tara Strong.
Oh,
I can't put you ahead of Hamill. I can't put you ahead of Sora. But
my God, is she the ultimate Harley Quinn? Sorry, Kaylee Kuroko. Sorry, Margot Robbie. But we know what the producer would say. She'd say, "Oh, Margot Robbie is the best Harley Quinn there is." No, she's not.
Oh, I actually put Arlene Sorkin over Tara Strong because Arlene originated the role. Mm-hmm. But Tara, just in terms of everything she has done in her career for Canadians and voiceover stuff, and more importantly, Timmy Turner from Fairly Odd Parents, Raven from Teen Titans.
Yeah.
She's Barbara Gordon, Harl in Arkham City and Onward. Just fantastic job, and I'm not even scratching the surface of what she's done.
Ben 10, the original Ben 10.
She's done majority of the voice. A lot of people don't actually realize how much voice work a lot of people do. I mean, I had Juliet Landau on last year. She played Drusilla in Buffy. I seem to remember in Justice League, she voiced 7 different characters.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah. So if anyone says that basically Tara Strong's only known for being one person, she is bloody not.
No.
None of them are.
Maybe around 100, but not one.
Yeah, not one. You're missing a couple of zeros there, mate. I don't know about you, chaps, but I've actually enjoyed this little bit of theory work. So maybe we should do it again sometime.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you.
But what I would like to do, if anyone's listening, to be honest, we started this out a few years ago, as everyone knows. Because it's like, I'm really a big fan, if you know me, I'm a really big fan of stuff like What If, Elseworlds. I mean, stuff that goes, what if something happens? So I'm going to do something a bit revolutionary here. Maybe not revolutionary, but it's a first for this podcast. For anyone who's listening, I would like you to, if you want to, I'm not forcing you to do it if you don't want to. Ask yourself a question that I asked us 3 and see what your answers would be. And then if you want to share them, you can share them with us at Final Cut Official. 5-star wildcard, I believe, Fraser.
Yep. On Twitter.
Yes, I finally got his Twitter right. And hopefully, if we get any within next week, we will mention it in next week's topic. we have mentioned about doing another gaming one. I'm not sure. Was it this week or was it next week or the week after? I'm sure it was the week after.
I think it was a week after because we've got to talk about the 10th anniversary of one of the greatest superhero games of all time.
So if you tweet us or Instagram us, DM us, and we'll get whatever replies we can in next week. So good luck, and just remember one important rule. It doesn't have to be your favourite. It can just be the first person that comes to your mind. And on that, we might as well dish out socials so everyone can DM us on Twitter or Insta. So I'll do mine first. So find me on Twitter on Finalcut Talk and find me on Insta at Finalcut Official. That's it, really. Just Twitter and Insta now. I mean, I've got a Facebook page, but I don't really use it. I'm sure the producer still uses it.
She does. You can find me on www.deathpixie.ca if you want to talk to me about your voiceover projects or commission me for one of your own. www.deathpixie.ca is the best way to get a hold of me. I also found out, and this is just a couple of days ago, I have been accepted through Kovaco, which is a hub for voice actors. So www.app.kovaco.com. Look for my profile, Nathan R. Tasker, if you want to get in touch with me or communicate like projects that way. I would love to do it, but just found out, got accepted, kind of big deal. And
congratulations.
Yeah. So that's it on my end of things. I will tell you things are in the works.
Ooh.
But I can't tell you what it is. We've nailed down when a certain Clown Prince of Crime is coming back. And believe it or not, it's going to be very, very similar, or it's going to be very close to that Arkham City. I just got back with my contacts in Death Pixie, one of them who plays Catherine, and yeah, we know what we're doing. It's going to be fun.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Triple H's Pokemon Adventure, man.
What are you, crazy? I just found the Pokeball sound effect.
Oh, please, you want to get away from Vince. You hate him.
No, I don't want to get away from Vince. I love Vince. That's what the lawyers back behind me are telling me.
How many lawyers have you got?
Well,
were they paid for by you or paid by Vince McMahon?
Okay, look. 16 of the 17 lawyers are paid by Vince McMahon.
Oh God!
So I have to ingratiate myself while he's away in parts unknown.
Oh God! Oh please, Fraser, take us away from the dreaded pus, which is lawyers. Oh.
All right, you can find me at 5-Star Wildcard on Twitter. You can find me at Gokai Studios on Twitter. You can find me at Bodysons Dropkicks on Twitter. And I'm pretty sure if you tweet at Finalcut, Dean will let me know what's tweeted, and I will send a reply.
I will do my best.
You can find me on Instagram, Beautiful Michael. You can find me writing multiple voice series performed by Nathan Tasker himself, The Adventures of Phil Woods, Vincent Man Parts Unknown, Triple H Digimon Adventures when I get the chance, and The Exterminators.
Okay, first of all, I've told people several times, you can't just go and do Digimon Digital Adventures for God's sake. I mean, I've sang the song once. I'm not going to sing it again.
Sing it.
Digimon Digital Monsters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon Digital Monsters, Digimon are the champions.
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
And you also mentioned the Exterminators. Hello, my name is Rusty, and I'm here to exterminate all of your little problems that comes to magical maladies, unicorns, or some woman named Mel. I would like to thank all of you for joining me on the future of Exterminators. My name is Rusty Shackelford, and I'm very happy.
I can't believe you just said that. So, with Nathan getting a roast in by this time next week, we just like to say thank you for everyone who's listened.
I can't wait to see what she's going to come out with.
Oh, God.
I am screwed. I'm so
This
screwed.
will be worse than Nightmare on Elm Street mixed with Friday the 13th, mixed in with Halloween.
We'll also write the Dean Conley what crumbles my biscuits. If you tweet that at Dean, I will write it. If one person tweets it at him, I will write it.
Wait, what is the tweet there?
The tweet has to be crumble my biscuits, the Dean Conley tale, and I will write it. If one person
Oh my God.
tweets
You mean
it
like
I will write it.
Hold on, Nathan. This is the same man whose autobiography will be entitled Jack Hammer, the Bill Goldberg story. Authored by his number one fan, Michael Fraser.
Oh, that'd be great.
It would be so great. Or actually, you know what Fraser
would? Sandler, the Dean Conley friendship tale as well, but
I'm sorry, his best friend is Kevin James. I am not his best friend. I actually would like to see. In fact, Nathan, aren't you writing a song about Kenny No Balls?
Oh my God, I'm working on it. Yes.
Oh, please work on it.
I've sent you it, and I will be singing it on podcast at some point when it's all completely done.
And with that happy announcement, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to end. Thank you very much for listening. We will see you next week.
Bye-bye.